Let me say yeah. Let me say yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to 31 to Thriving. How are we feeling? My heart's like, it's buzzing so fast. Huge, big warm welcome, everybody. We've got some new faces in the group. We've got some regulars. We've got some past clients. It is so wonderful to see every single one of you, whether you're here live or catching the replay. The biggest warm up. Welcome back, Jocelyn. I mean, you haven't been gone far, have you? Let's be honest. Welcome to 31 to Thriving 2.0. My gosh, am I so freaking excited for what we have planned. And I wanted to start with a song that sets a context. The lyrics to that like 90s banger say, there's no limits. And the conversation we're going to have today is very mindset focused. It's very identity focused. And it really is the work that I think is going to help you blow your own mind. It really is the work that's going to help you create the most incredible things, grow a thriving business, and become a thriving business woman, which I know every single one of us wants, right? Now, a little bit of housekeeping before we dive in. There are no planned fire things, so if the fire goes off, exit where safe. We have got two incredible communities this year. We've got our Facebook group. If you're not in the Facebook group, come on over, introduce yourself, meet everybody else. This is where the replays will be shared and the daily audios will be shared in the Facebook group as well. And we also have a Telegram channel. And again, we've got a great community where you can speak with the other ladies inside. You can ask questions, share breakthroughs. There's a wins thread, so you can share your wins. And then all of the replays and audios will be in there as well. So I wanted to make it as easy as possible for you to engage with everything, digest everything, and just really thrive this summer. Now, I want to start a bit of a context. This might be a free coaching experience, but I want you to go into this with the mindset that anything is possible. I want you to show up for this like you've paid £10,000 for it. That's the intention that I'm setting for this. I am not just going to give you generic, crappy, boring things. Like, we are going to blow our absolute minds in this month and beyond. I want every single one of us to start the second half of the year in the best possible mindset, vibe, energy, with clarity, with confidence, with conviction, with sales strategies. I want us to blow our own minds in this month. Does that relate? Pop a yes in the chat if you're like, yep, sign me up, like, I'm ready, let's go. Yes, Hania says, yeah, she's coming from Scotland. Harriet, so ready. Gayatri, yes. 6 months of smashing it. Let's end the year incredible. I'm loving the energy in the group. Now, I'm a bit of an overgiver, I feel, and I love to reward you guys for being in here. So there is an opportunity for one of you to win a £500 voucher that I will give you a whole bunch of things that you can use that towards. If you want to be entered and have your name put in my champagne bucket, all you have to do is share something on Instagram about being in here. On my Instagram page, which is The Thriving Business Woman, you will see pinned to the top the 31 to Thriving 2.0 graphic. You can share that. You can do a little boomerang. You can do whatever you like. But just share. Make sure you tag me on your Instagram story so I can track this. And then on Friday morning, the 3rd of July, I'm going to record a little video and I will pick the name out of the hat, and whoever is the winner will get a £500 voucher. What a way to start. So I would love if you could let me know in the chat, whereabouts are you checking in from today? I know where some of you live, but I think let's just see how far we're spreading over the UK and beyond. People have registered from all over the world. Like, it's really cool. We've got people from all over the place. So we've got Sam in Southampton, Harriet's Lincolnshire, Jocelyn's Cheltenham, not far away, Nadia, Chobham, Surrey, Norfolk, Cambridge border for Charlotte Watson, hey lovely, Hereford, Scotland, Cambridgeshire, Hampshire, Lyme, Wiltshire, Cheshire, my gosh, normally London and Harrogate this week, North Wales. We've got people all over the place. How incredible that we have all come together and that Zoom is enabling us to do this. So let's dive in. Today, we're going to be talking about the mindset and identity of becoming a thriving business woman. I rebranded my business last year and I really wanted to step more into the thriving identity. I've had my podcast since 2020 and I rebranded that in 2023 and wanted to call it the Thriving Life and Business Podcast. I also have a membership called the Thrive Membership, and one of the things that I really wanted to do was to help more people thrive, not just survive, in their life and in their business. And what that generally means is that it's going to be so unique for every single one of you. Every single one of you will have a different vision and iteration of what that is for you. For me, when I think about thriving, and I was kind of reflecting on this yesterday when I was thinking about June, for me, thriving is actually like making money, making content from my sun lounger in my garden, just outside Tetbury in Gloucestershire. Like, to me, that is having a thriving business. For you, it might be working a certain number of hours. It might be being able to take your kids to Legoland. It might be able to, I don't know, donate to charities. Whatever it looks like for you, it's going to be so unique for every single one of us. And in today's call, I want us to get really clear on what that is for you, so that you can make sure that you are constantly committing to your thriving businesswoman era, identity, iteration, archetype, whatever that is for you. So I want you to consider something, and you can let me know your thoughts about this in the chat. Let me just move the chat so I can see it. The business that you build will rarely outgrow the identity you embody. The money you want to make will rarely outgrow what you believe is possible for you. The business that you want to build, grow, scale, whatever that looks like for you, will rarely outgrow a belief system. If you've got a mindset and a belief system that's going to hold you back, then that's the work that we need to do. And we're going to unpick all of this today. Your success and becoming that thriving businesswoman begins with who you become, not just what you do. So I've broken today's call down into a number of different sections. We're going to start with the whole identity before strategy conversation. So many women, I have coached hundreds, if not thousands of women since I started coaching back in 2017. And so many women have come to me over the years saying, Tara, tell me what to do.
Okay, cool.
What shall I do? What shall I say on the
Can you
internet?
just pop upstairs and wait? Sorry.
It's going to pop everyone in. What shall I say on the internet so someone buys? What's the one magic landing page that's going to convert? What's the one magic eureka price point where suddenly someone's just going to think, yes, this is the one? What's the best way to brand? And generally, it all gets to work, which I know is sometimes quite frustrating when you hear that. And you think, well, you know, I've tried this, I've tried this, I've tried this. But truthfully, it all does get to work. And again, when I think about thriving, I really bring this into the coaching, the mentorship, the training that I do, so that I can really help my clients build their brand your way. Now, I obviously have built my brand primarily on Instagram. I haven't built it through TikTok. I haven't built it through LinkedIn. I fucking hate LinkedIn. I haven't built it through Facebook ads. I haven't built it through YouTube. I've primarily built it through Instagram and through my podcast. It's definitely helped. And that has worked really, really, really well for me. And the way that it's worked really well for me is a lot of the work that I'm going to take you through this month, but it's also because I have got such a strong belief around Instagram. I feel like it just works so well. I have this belief that it is a friend of mine. Like I go onto it, I'm like, oh, hey pal, how you doing today? Like I have such a good mindset around it, such a good relationship with it. Like I genuinely believe it's fucking incredible and it does incredible things. That is that is pure mindset. Me having that mindset around a platform that a lot of people moan about, that's my pure mindset. That's a belief system that I have trained so that I start to get myself into this really strong, empowered, embodied place before I go onto the platform. So your first thing to consider is, where do you have a bit of a funky mindset or a funky relationship with your primary place where you grow your audience? Because I think so many people resent the algorithm, so many people resent platforms, so many people feel like it's hard that you've got to pay to play. So many people have got such a funky relationship with content, with sales, with social media platforms. And it's such a minor thing, but it really changes your energy and your frequency and how you show up. So when we think about the whole identity piece that is required for today, I want you to start reflecting on these questions. So, who am I becoming? That's your first question that I want you to consider. Who are you becoming? When I think about this for me, I am becoming one of the greatest versions, or probably the greatest version of myself I've ever known. I have lived a whole lifetime in my 11 years of having this company. I have had massive highs, massive lows. I've had the most incredible wins. I've had rock bottom moments. And honestly, it has tested me beyond belief. But when I think today and I set this standard and intention for myself, I was like, right, who am I becoming? Who am I becoming in these 31 days together? And for me, that was one of the greatest versions of myself I've ever known. That's a big context. That's a big identity. But what this then does is it starts to guide how you show up. It starts to guide doing what you say you're going to do. It starts to guide the intentions that you set, the actions that you take. Because if you can have a really clear identity piece for the identity of who you are becoming this month, then throughout the month, you just keep looking back at it. I actually now make decisions based on whether it's going to help me become the version of me I want to be or not. And I have turned things down. We're going to talk about this a little bit shortly. But I am tuning into that all of the time. Now, for those of you that came to my January kickoff event, so I hosted one in Oxford and one in Norfolk, I actually shared my mantra for the year. And part of that mantra was, I love who I'm becoming. That's pure identity and mindset. Do you love who you're becoming? Feel free to pop in the chat. What's coming up for you around this? Are you clear on who you're becoming? Are you committed to who you're becoming? Pop some things in the chat. Let me know what's coming up. The next question is, how do I make decisions? Again, do you make decisions in alignment with who you're becoming? Do you make decisions based on the life and business that you want to build? How dare someone ring me when we're on Zoom? Do you make decisions based on where you want to go in your business or the money that you want to be making? Or are you stuck making decisions based on a past identity? Harriet says, I think I have a clear image of who I want to become, but I don't know if it's possible around my new life of being a mother. Absolutely it is. I know we had a one-to-one call last week. It absolutely is. Jocelyn says, I'm only just getting started. That is exactly how I feel. Like, I've been in business 11 years. It was my 11-year anniversary on Saturday. And I genuinely have that, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm just getting started energy. It is like incredible. Jocelyn, I am your wing woman for dating. You absolutely are. Okay, next question. What do I believe is possible? This again is a mindset piece. Do you believe like there is a limit to what you can earn, like period? Do you believe that there is a limit to the amount of people that you can support? Do you believe there's a limit to what you can achieve? Again, this goes back to our first song, There Is No Limits. No, 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 no. You have to believe that anything is possible. And I'm going to brainwash you this month to really believe that. Because truthfully, when you start to explore this work and you start to see that actually anything is possible, you show up differently. Because again, you're in this identity of, I am becoming this person. Let's just check the chat. Abby says, for me, decision making is still very much driven by survival mode. Go, go, go. Rarely check in with who I want to be. Challenge firmly accepted on that one. This month, we are not just surviving, we are going to be thriving. I love this. Gail Tree says, I often make decisions in the moment, often work on strategy, and then forget how I feel. The limits of what I choose. Oh, powerful. Candy says, not sure at the moment, so many hats to wear. Harriet, as Mean Girl says, the limit does not exist. Exactly. And then finally, this was something that I really lent into in the second half of last year. How do I show up when nobody is watching? I have been tuning into this even more, particularly last month. If a film crew were filming you because you were in this new reality TV show and they were filming you 24/7. Think Big Brother. We're going back to the noughties or 90s, whenever that was out. Think Big Brother. What would they show? I keep making decisions based on this. Like, I almost genuinely imagine that there's this film crew following me around my little house, like in the Cotswolds, and it's filming everything. It's filming what I eat, what I consume, how I talk to myself, how I talk to my dog. It films literally everything. That for me unlocks something. Because when I'm thinking, oh, I can't be bothered to eat properly, I'll just have, I don't know, a bowl of cereal. I don't have cereal in the house, but if that was the example, I would then think, like, is this what the absolute thriving version of me would want to do? Okay, Gayatri says, sounds like a lot of pressure to me. Take away the pressure and just think, like, how is this about you stepping into your most incredible thriving self? Yeah, you prefer to ask your higher self. It's a very similar approach, and I love that. Ask your higher self. When we think about being a thriving businesswoman, I want to take you through a bit of an archetype. So I want you to really start thinking about how you can actually bring this more into your day-to-day. And this isn't about adding a bajillion things to an already busy schedule. Like, I primarily work with very busy people. I'm a very busy people myself. But this is about your thoughts throughout the day. It's about your habits, about your emotions. It's about how you manage things. So the first pointer is that the thriving businesswoman isn't just successful. She is so sure of who she is. She is deeply rooted in who she is becoming. She creates success without abandoning herself and her family. She leads from wholeness and in a way where she's so in alignment with who she is and what she's building. And I think for a lot of people, this is particularly true for me because I'm building a personal brand within an actual brand. Her business becomes an extension of who she is. I'm going to reference somebody on this call, Charlotte Watson. Charlotte loves Taylor Swift. She even shared it in the Telegram channel. And she is a financial advisor and even brings that into her Instagram content. Like, shout out Charlotte. It is brilliant and hilarious, and I love it. That's her brand becoming an extension of who she is. I actually had one of my previous clients, Shona, from Lilac HR, who Charlotte knows. She came on my podcast last week, and she was sharing how she's got her own HR agency, and she even brings country music, cowboy hats, red wine into her brand because it is so who she is. Your dream clients want to work with you. They want you. You are the person behind the Instagram account. You are the person behind the screen that is showing up. Even in a crowded market, I'm in a crowded market, but I still know that people want to work with me. They want my energy, or they want my insights, or they want to blend mindset and strategy. I want you to have that clarity throughout this month in the fact that you are the one that your ideal clients love. You are the one that they just want to go to. And I think the more that we can embody that and bring that into our lives and our businesses, the better. Now, the next thing is she leads herself. The thriving businesswoman leads herself. She doesn't wait until she feels confident. She doesn't wait until she feels ready, because ready is a decision, not a feeling. She doesn't wait until she's got all of the external validation and all of the evidence to then take action. She trusts herself and she moves. She honors commitments that she's made to herself. She does what she says she's going to do. That is such a powerful piece. If you can build self-trust through doing what you say you're going to do, the sky isn't even the limit. Now, I think this is a really important piece of the conversation. I have launched so many things over the years. I have created content in a certain way, launched events, launched programs, and I haven't always known how it was going to work. I haven't always had that absolute certainty that it is going to work. But I have been so trusting of myself, and I trust that my audience loves what I put out there, that it then just works. But it has taken me years and years and years to get to this point where I have that level of trust with myself. So if you're always waiting until everything's perfect, or you're always waiting until you've got all of the external evidence and validation, if you're always waiting for everything to be ready, you're going to be waiting such a long time. My whole thing is done is so much better than perfect. So I think this month I want us showing up, taking messy action, and really starting to stretch yourself. The next piece is that she really values herself. I want you to be your own greatest fan. I want you to see yourself as the one. If you want your dream clients to see you as the one, you have to see yourself as the one. You have to think that what you do is so incredible. I want you to be so obsessed with the work that you do, so obsessed with the people you help, the impact that you create, so obsessed with the incredible actions that you do, so obsessed with seriously everything. I want you to become your own greatest fan this month. I really, really, really do, because when you are that, you are going to trust yourself. You will take that messy action. You will just do the thing, because you aren't always relying on external validation. I think so many people rely on external validation for taking action, for doing what it is they want to do. But actually, I think if you have your own back and you value and appreciate yourself, you don't need external validation. The next thing I want you to consider is really thinking long term. I balance long-term vision with a short-term mindset and short-term actions. When I post on social media, when I promote something, when I show up in my business, when I'm making decisions, I am doing it with a very long-term mindset, thinking about the compound effect, thinking about how it's going to build. And I'm very much balancing long-term vision with short-term actions and mindset. This is where I think the compound effect can come into place, because so many people want immediate results. I'm actually going to do a whole audio on this because it's so important. But so many people want immediate results. And so they start doing something like a morning routine, like posting on Instagram every single day, like nurturing a community, but then they don't see the results within 3 days, so they pull the plug. We have to know that the actions that we're taking, the mindset work we're doing, is working for the long term, whilst also taking those short-term actions. Another nice question that you can consider, and again, this is so linked into the identity piece, is what would the future version of me do today? What would she do today? And again, really, really, really think about what she would actually be doing and how she would be showing up. Gertrude says, yes, I like the long-term vision, short-term action. I connect to this a lot. What I also will say on this one is I am a very short-term mindset person. I've never had a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan. It's almost like my brain can't go that far. I met a financial planner at the end of 2025, and he was like, "When do you want to retire?" And I looked at him and I was like, are you serious? Like, I can't even think that far ahead. But it's really had to like stretch me to start thinking that far ahead. But I am somebody that has got like a really short-term mindset. I can visualize like a year from now, but I've also got clients who can do the 10-year vision, but not the 1 year. So depending on which camp you're in, I want you to just find a way that really works for you, and also know that it's absolutely okay if you are one or the other. There's no right or wrong, good or bad. You are just the way that you are. Harriet says, I've set a goal to do a morning routine every day in July and I'm going to do it. Yes, you are. Even if it's a version of the ideal routine, it's helping me step into my power and who I want to become. Challenge accepted. So I want you to keep us updated in the Telegram so that you are still doing those actions. Make sure that you're like doing that, ticking it off every day. The next piece when it comes to becoming the thriving businesswoman is she protects her energy. Your energy is honestly one of the most important things. This was huge for me, especially last month. So the first couple of months of this year were really, really like just challenging behind the scenes. And I really realized that I was giving my energy away to a lot of people, a lot of situations, and to things that were just bringing me down. So in June, I made sure that I was protecting my energy. I said no to things that just didn't align. I said no to invitations to things that would have knocked my energy. I didn't go to certain things. I didn't scroll much on social media. I am so mindful of what I watch anyway on Netflix or anything. And I really protected my energy like it was the most important thing. And honestly, my energy throughout all of June was insane. There was also then a increase of 1,233% of new clients in June compared to May. It was just wild. Your energy is so powerful. If you've got people, places, situations, conversations, apps that are constantly bringing your energy down, you are constantly yo-yoing. What that then does is it sends a really funky signal to the universe of what energy you are emitting. So I want you to make sure that you are protecting your energy as much as you possibly can. So for me, I use my morning routine to do that. I am a very visual and feely person. Feely, like the lookies on the beach. I am a very, very visual, very feely person. So for me, when I think about my best energy, I get myself into like this place of gratitude, of optimism, of high vibe. I just get myself like so connected to my clients, to you guys inside. Like I really do just get myself into this positive energy every single day. And then I protect it. I actually said to one of my clients the other day, I want you to visualize a duck. And she looked at me and she was like, what? I said, picture a duck in your mind. She pictured this duck and she said, right, I can see a duck. I said, imagine it's swimming on a lake and then it starts raining. She pictured it swimming on a lake and then it starts raining. I said, when things come into your energy field, when things seep into your subconscious mind, I want you to imagine that they are like water off a duck's back. A duck has those oils in its little feathers that means that the water doesn't penetrate into it. That's what I want us to imagine when we are thinking about our energy. If you're a visual person and you've got a pen, draw a duck. Because I think it's such a good representation of how we can really protect ourselves. Yep, duck and ducks in a row. There we go. The next piece that I want us to think about when it comes to our identity is really looking at some identity shifts that we're going to be making throughout this month. So there's a massive difference in the energy and the identity and the mindset of somebody that is in the kind of identity of, I have to hustle, I need everyone's approval, I'm behind, I'm not good enough, I hope people buy, I'm in a crowded market, versus on the flip side, knowing that you create value, knowing you can do anything you put your mind to, knowing that your work is incredible, your dream clients love what you have to offer, knowing that you attract incredible opportunities, knowing that you are building something incredible, knowing that what you do helps people in some way. They are just two sides of the same coin. But I want us to make sure that your identity is really getting into that empowered place. Now, throughout our 31 days together, I am going to invite you to do a couple of little things. Again, I don't want this to take a huge amount of time, but one of them is that each day I want you to really think about the identity that you are stepping into. So when I do my morning routine every day, I've got a question, so I fill in my own morning routine notepads that I designed. I've got a question there that says, who do I need to be today? Who am I choosing to be today? That's my point where I say to myself, I'm going to be an incredible coach and mentor. I'm going to lead my business with power, with confidence, with conviction, with clarity. I'm going to be focused. I'm going to be productive. I'm going to be content. I'm going to be grateful. I'm going to be so organized. I literally write out exactly who I'm going to be today. And it's so powerful. There's a massive difference in, firstly, my productivity, but secondly, in how I feel going through my day when I am like setting myself up in that way. The next thing is I want you to say to yourself, how do you respond to challenges? So obviously we're going through this month together and I want you to stay as locked in and plugged into the vibes as possible, but challenges might come up. You know, challenges do come up in daily life. The mindset that I have, and I would highly recommend this mindset, is I want you to view every single challenge as you either win or you learn. Every single action, you either win or you learn. And the only difference is your mindset. If a challenge happens to you and you just think, right, I'm going to throw in the towel, you know, this one thing's happened to me and everything else is shit, and it then knocks you, it knocks your energy, it knocks your vibe, it knocks how you feel for the rest of the month. That's where I want you to almost reclaim your power, take ownership of what's going on, say to yourself, what can I learn from this? You know, some of you may have heard me say before, but I've had launches that have absolutely categorically flopped. I remember my second ever group coaching launch back in January 2020, and one person signed up for the group coaching program. And I just remember thinking, God, this is so embarrassing. And I messaged her and I said, Hayley, you've signed up for a group program, but you're the only person that signed up. So I'm going to give you one-to-one coaching for the group price. In that moment, I had two opportunities. Number one is say, oh, well, clearly I'm not meant to do group coaching. Number two was learn from it. I chose to learn from it. Thank God. So with every single thing that doesn't quite go to plan, every single content or every single launch, every single thing that you promote, if it doesn't go to plan, look at it and say, what went well? What can I improve on next time? Because that mindset shift alone will change so much. This is about you reclaiming your power over the thing that happened and staying in a real, strong, empowered mindset and identity. Whereas if you're always giving away how you feel based on the external circumstances that happened, based on the algorithm, based on other people buying or not buying, you are not in an empowered space. So I want you to be able to look at this logically, not emotionally, and say to yourself, what went well? What can I improve on next time? That mindset will change your fucking life. It really will. But most people don't then have that discernment and take radical responsibility to look at it. I have done this with events I've run, with launches I've had. I've done it with so many things, goals I've set, like so many things. And what that then enables me to do is think, okay, in every situation I win. Because I either win in terms of I've taken the action and launched the program and got the desired result, i.e. a bunch of people sign up, or I didn't get the people sign up and I learn from it. And when I then learn from it, I'm actually still winning because you have key data, you have incredible information. There's so much there that you can do. But again, it's just a mindset shift. If you can start to train your brain to behave in that way, so much will change for you. Now, this then also impacts your belief system. So it is so easy when you think of all of these things that we have to do in business. You know, we all wear a lot of hats. it is so easy for your belief system in your mind to almost attach itself onto a result. Let's say, as an example, that you promoted something and you didn't get the desired outcome. Again, two people can have that exact same thing happen to them. The one that doesn't do anything and just thinks like, oh, well, it is what it is. For their belief system, it's quite easy for their belief to almost attach this feeling of not feeling good enough or feeling like a failure, feeling like a fraud, whatever it is, to the action that happened. If you think about it, if you then want to promote something, let's say a month later, you're going to be doing it from that energy, because that energy and that belief system will stay so strong in your mind that it's then going to almost want to attach itself to future things that haven't yet happened. Yes, my most hated phrase, it is what it is. So defeatist, so defeatist. I'm not an it is what it is person. I'm like, no, you make your own like successes. Let's say another person then looks at that and she also had a launch that didn't quite go to plan. But instead of letting her brain give her this story that it is what it is, and she's not good enough, she's a fraud, she's a failure, if she looks at it and she says, hold on a second, let's look at what did go well, and then let's look at what I could do better next time. The next time that she comes to take that action, she's going to be doing it from a place of self-belief, confidence, conviction. She would just feel more self-empowered and she will have more self-trust. When I did this for the launch that I did in January 2020, where the one person signed up for the group, I looked at it and I said, right, what went well? Well, what went well was that one incredible woman signed up. She had a great business. She was an incredible personality. Like, I genuinely do get to work with the best people. She was amazing. And then I said, right, what can I improve on next time? And I was like, everything. Marketing, messaging, promotion, launch, selling, all of the things. But I then had so much data of things that I wanted to master before my next launch, which then happened, I think it was in April 2020, for a 2-day virtual workshop, which some of you were in, which is incredible. But imagine if I had just created this mindset and this belief and this dynamic that, oh, well, I'm a fraud, I'm a failure because one person signed up for this program. Like, I want you to be able to take radical responsibility on these things that happen and almost just see them as things are just things. You know, humans are meaning-making machines. We make everything mean everything. You make anything mean anything. Like, one person unsubscribes from your email list and you're like, oh my God, I must have said the wrong thing. Like, no, maybe they just had signed up twice. Maybe there's a bajillion reasons why. But we have to be able to look at these things logically, not emotionally. And honestly, the more that you could train your brain in that way, the more that you can start to have this real discernment around the things that happen, because they're just things, the better. Jocelyn says, if you could buy an Omaze house, does anyone actually win those? Like, I always see them like, buy this house for $10 or £10. I'm like, does anyone actually win them? I would be compelled to tell you to buy. It would be my duty. If you didn't buy it, I would assume I didn't do my job in explaining this to you. Same as selling our offers. Okay, Rachel knows someone that won the Omaze house. Okay, good. So they are real. It's not just a con. Yeah. Yes, we have to be able to really look at what it is that we're doing and make sure that we're doing it from this place of logic, not emotion. So again, throughout this month, I want you to be able to detangle any of the funky limiting beliefs that come up, any of the kind of negative emotions that come up around taking these actions, and almost just be willing to stretch yourself this month. Harriet shared that she wants to do a morning routine every single day this month. That's incredible. Track it so that you can see it. Literally grab a piece of paper, write 1 to 31 down the side, and then tick it when you've done it, because your brain loves seeing that. It loves seeing the progress that you're making. But again, I want you to then be able to do this from this empowered mindset, from this empowered position and place. So the final piece of today's training are the 5 mindset pillars of becoming the thriving businesswoman that you really want to become. again, I wrote these notes yesterday and really reflected on what has created massive shifts and massive changes in my life. What are the things that have got me from just surviving and wafting through to actually thriving? And I broke it down into these 5 core pillars. Number 1 is your vision. I read in a book, and I cannot remember for the life of me which book it was, but I basically read somewhere where somebody said, well, what if you don't know what you want? And the answer to the question was, well, can't you just enjoy the journey? And I actually thought that was quite nice, because I think so many people don't always necessarily know what they want. They don't know where they want to live, or they don't know they want to get married or not, or they don't know how much money they want to earn. And that's okay. But if you can have a bit of a vision that you're working towards in terms of the hours that you might want to work, in terms of the holidays you want to have, in terms of how you want to be like living your life, if you can have that bit of a vision, then you know what it is you're working towards. And on the days when you don't feel motivated, on the days when you're fucking exhausted, you can still tap into that. That works for me. So again, I'm a very visual person. I am definitely one for visualization and a vision board. There are days that I wake up and I am so fucking exhausted, I can't even tell you, but I know I have to get into this energy to show up on Zoom with my best possible energy. So for me, connecting to the vision works really well for that. When I look at my vision board and I see all of these like gorgeous holiday destinations I want to go to and cars, and like, there's so much on there, that really helps me think, right, I deserve to get myself into this incredible energy today. Oh, good question, Jocelyn. What if my life is only a 2? What would an 8 look like? Whoop, whoop. Yes, love that. Now, I actually use visualization as part of my strategy. So every single morning when I do my morning routine, I always say to myself, right, how am I feeling today? How do I wish to feel today? What are like some small little actions that I can take towards the like dream version of myself that I'm becoming? And I always listen to a visualization. And I've actually recorded one for you guys that I will share in the relevant spaces. So I'll share it in Telegram, I'll share it in the Facebook group. For me, this really helps me, because what happens is when you close your eyes and you do a visualization, your subconscious mind starts to create this picture or this movie. Your subconscious mind loves pictures. It is a very visual thing. So when you do a visualization, what then happens is your subconscious mind creates this picture or this movie. This then impacts what's called the reticular activating system, which is your brain's own filtering system. It's like your brain's own search engine. When you have done visualizations and you are connecting emotionally to something that you desire, so whether it's through a recorded visualization, whether it's through looking at a vision board, when you look at that or you imagine like what it is you're visualizing, the reticular activating system then starts thinking of ways to give you creative ideas, to give you seemingly random ideas, and to help you achieve the goal. Has anybody ever had an incredible idea whilst driving? Has anybody ever had an incredible idea whilst walking your dog? If you've got a horse, if you would have had incredible ideas while tending to your horse. Jocelyn says yes. Have you ever decided that you wanted something? Let's say a new car in a certain color. Suddenly it's like everybody seems to have that car. You see it on Instagram, you see it on TikTok, you see it whilst you're driving across a car park, you see it all of the time. Yes, yes, yes. People are saying yes, yes, yes. The ideas that come from the shower. Yes, Becky, they come there too. Well, you know what I mean. What is happening when you have those ideas in places when you aren't sat at your laptop with your pen and paper in hand? Your subconscious mind is trying to think of ways to help you achieve a goal. When you've done that visualization practice, this image has been filed in your subconscious mind. When you're then on autopilot, your subconscious mind has time to process things in the background. So your subconscious mind is thinking, how can I help my human hit the goal? Honestly, I've had ideas of programs at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I wake up, sit bolt upright, I'm like, oh my God, that would be the best fucking program ever. And I get my phone and I type whilst like trying to see because it's so dark. And I'm like, I need to action that in the morning. There have been times I've launched things like 7 a.m., 4 hours after I had the idea. I'm like, guys, I've just had this idea. Here's an early bird price point. And it's worked because it has been so in alignment with my subconscious mind trying to help me achieve these goals. Honestly, the ideas you have in the middle of the night, in the shower, whilst driving, whilst walking your dog, whilst feeding your baby at 3 o'clock in the morning, they are not random. That is your subconscious mind trying to help you achieve the vision that you've planted in your mind. Don't let your temporary emotions dictate permanent decisions as to whether you take an action or not. Remember, this is the month where we're going to take messy action. But you've got to then have that vision that helps your subconscious mind give you those ideas. So I will put that in the Telegram and the Facebook group straight after today when we upload this replay. The second pillar, so number 1 was vision. Number 2, self-belief. I wrote a whole book called Magnificent Mindset. I started writing it in 2020 and it came out in January 2023. And I wanted it to be a book that gave people everything they needed to actually change their mindset. I'd read so many books that were like, oh, just meditate and you'll be a bajillionaire. Oh, just, hold a gratitude rock and suddenly everything will be fine. But none of it broke it down for me in terms of the science and the how. So I wanted to put all of that in this book. When I then finished that book and it got incredible reviews, incredible results, like just great things, I then had a realization that self-belief is such like the most important part of your mindset. Because when you have self-belief, this I can do it attitude becomes generated. It almost becomes like your dominant thought. It's almost like your baseline thought. But when you don't have self-belief, it holds so many people back. It holds them back from taking messy action. It holds them back from not putting their prices up. It holds them back from not like putting themselves out there, reaching out for collaborations, putting on an event, because they don't have that self-belief. Now, I have said for years and years and years now, you don't always need 100% self-belief. This is again where some people get this a little bit clunky and messed up. So many people think I must have 100% self-belief in order to take action. I operate at, I'd say, standard baseline self-belief is like 90%. But there have been times that I've launched something and taken action when I've had 51% self-belief, 49% of me has been in self-doubt. The 51% rule is so powerful and can change your life. Imagine what you could achieve if you had 51% self-belief. 49% of you were still like, fuck, this is terrifying. I don't know if it's going to work out. Oh my God, can I do this? Shh, just quiet that piece and say 51% self-belief and take action. 51% self-belief and trusting yourself, absolutely. The growth you desire always comes the other side of courage. And this is where people get stuck because they feel like they can feel this, like they're almost on the edge of their seats. They're like, oh, I feel like I need courage. But then that gets tangled in their mind and their mind suddenly feels like, oh, I don't believe in myself, so I can't. Trust in your self-belief. Give yourself evidence of where you believe in yourself. I will do a whole audio training on this because it is so, so, so powerful. Going back to the book, so I wanted to become a #1 best-selling author on Amazon just because it will enable me to get the book in front of more people. And I remember putting a picture of the #1 gold best-selling badge on my vision board in the summer of 2020. I had to hold the belief for 2.5 years between starting to write it and putting it on my vision board and actually getting the book out on Amazon in January 2023. I had to keep holding that belief. And there were times when it felt like it was just taking so long. There were times when it felt like I just didn't know if it was going to work out. There were times when it didn't excite me and invigorate me so much because I'd been looking at that fucking vision board for 2.5 years. But every now and again, I would look at it and I would connect to what it meant. To me, it wasn't just about the sales or the money. And Amazon pays me about, I don't know, £6 per book. So it's really not about the money, but it was about the fact of what it represented. It meant it would get more in the hands of more of the people that needed it. And then 30th of January, 2023, hit #1 in the UK, Australia, and the USA in 17 categories. That was self-belief first, strategy second. When you have that self-belief, thank you. When you have that self-belief, you are so much more likely to do what is required to achieve the thing that you desire. But if your self-belief is like wavering, you aren't going to go fucking all in, go balls to the wall. I am a very all or nothing kind of gal, like I really am. So you've got to have that self-belief. Like I said, I will do another audio purely on self-belief. The third piece is your authenticity and vulnerable visibility. Owning your brilliance and owning your story and using it to tell your story. I think my favorite type of content is storytelling content. It's looking at my own story, plucking out little threads, and really starting to think about how I can tell that on social media and enable my audience to connect with me over it. This year really is the year on social media where people are craving real. We are in a world of AI-generated crap, to be quite honest with you. We really are. And this is the time when people want real human stories. They want real connection. Again, if we go back to a little thing mentioned a little while ago, was around your business being an extension of you. You are the life and blood and heart and incredible woman behind your brand. And I want the world to be able to see it. Yes, people are agreeing in the chat. I am also going to be doing some audio trainings around plucking out your bits of your story, because I really lent into this last year after a very shit time, and it did such an incredible thing. Like, it blew my mind, but my whole strategy was be authentic, get vulnerably visible, and it changed so much. The other thing I will say on this is about then tying it back to the work that you do. So I wasn't just going on there to look like a victim and to just be like, oh, feel sorry for me, guys. I was doing it to prove and showcase this is what happened, and this is how I built myself back up again. And guess what? It was the 3 pillars of my brand: mindset, money, and marketing. I literally lived, breathed, and embodied those 3 things last year and this year. I've been doing it for donkey's years, but those 3 things were what enabled me to truly thrive. So this is about like plucking these little stories out of you and really starting to look at how you can authentically and visibly show up, but then hooking it back to what you do. And I'm going to be giving you chances in the Telegram channel to share a couple of pointers of your story, what your business is, and then I'm going to almost help you really create some incredible content. Harriet, I have always been scared to tell a big part of my rock bottom moments, but I think I'm ready now. And Thrive membership is content month as of today. So we're going to be good there. All is good. Okay, Becky says, I spent months with a burning desire to be an artist, not a portrait photographer. I marked it down as a side quest and squashed it down. When I finally told someone, my whole mindset changed, and for the first time, I truly believe I have found something I was destined to do and have so much belief in the next steps. That's incredible, Becky. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy to hear that. That is just incredible. Okay, fourth and penultimate piece is integrity. This is you acting in integrity. This is you doing what you say you're going to do. If you have a client that signs up for something and you say you're going to deliver a certain thing and you will get it to her today, fucking do it. Because there are so many people in the online space that don't do this. This is also about building trust with yourself. So that self-trust piece comes when you are acting in integrity, when you are actually doing what you want to be doing in business, and when you're doing it your way. So hold yourself accountable. Use the Telegram, use the Facebook group. If you have got something that you say, actually, I want to stretch myself this month to do this one thing. Maybe it's a morning routine every day. Maybe it's 10,000 steps every day. Maybe it's post on social media every day. Maybe it's sell something on the internet every single day. Whatever it is, no worries, Dan, thank you. Whatever it is, share it for the accountability and then hold yourself to it. And then the final piece is resilience. The challenges do not define you. They give you an opportunity to win and then learn. And when you learn from a challenge, you really win. So actually it's a win-win when you go through a challenge. They don't define you. They refine you. They help you adapt. They help you grow. They help you learn. They help you realize what's really important. And that is so key. I promise you, there have been so many highs and lows throughout this whole journey. Not everything has gone to plan. There have been things that have tested me beyond belief, but in every single thing that didn't quite go my way, I've been able to learn from it. When you have that resilience, the things that challenge you, the things that test you, the things that happen outside of your control or outside of what you want to happen, they don't knock you off kilter, because you look at them and you say, right, what can I learn from this? What is this really teaching me? How is this helping me steer myself towards what I desire? Because every single thing will be taking you onto a different path or into a different direction. So those are your final 5 mindset pillars of being the thriving businesswoman. We've got vision, self-belief, authenticity, integrity, and resilience. Now, for the next 31 days, we have obviously got a daily audio training that's going to be going in the Telegram and the Facebook group. I also would love to stretch you to a couple of small things. Number 1 is I want you to start each day with 5 gratitudes. I'm going to do a little audio about the kind of science of gratitude. It's not just like a woo-woo thing. It is actually really powerful for how it helps shift your focus. So number 1 is I want you to start each day with 5 gratitudes. It can be anything. It could be the delicious coffee. It could be the roof over your head. It could be your view. It could be being in this space. It could be your partner, your dog. It could be your coffee machine. It can be anything. Why have I said coffee twice? You can tell what's in mind some days. But just start with 5 gratitudes. You don't have to write them down. You can write them down if you want to, but just start by almost thinking about what you're really grateful for that morning. Second thing is I want you to think about your next level identity. So just start having a bit of a thought about it. You don't have to do anything specifically with this, but I just want you to almost start thinking about stepping into that version and how you would show up if you were already this thrivey version of you. This is particularly key, I think, if you are a little bit in survival mode or you have like a yo-yo of survive, thrive. This will be a big shift for you. So that's what I want you to do. Don't forget, we've got the competition to win a £500 voucher. Just tag me on Instagram stories by Wednesday. So Wednesday morning, let's say at 11 a.m. Let me write this down so I can set a reminder in my calendar. I will record a video on my iPhone and I will pop it in the Telegram, pop it in the Facebook group, and hopefully could be picking your name out of the champagne bucket. And I'm very excited for what we are going to go through over the next 31 months. Make sure that you are in the Facebook group and or the Telegram. Share questions, breakthroughs, realizations, wins. Literally use the space as much as you possibly can, because I truly believe the more that you put in, the more that you will get out of this space. There's also going to be like questions threads, spaces that you can get support. We've got so much to get through and I'm so fucking excited. But thank you so much for being here. Oh, Hanya couldn't get into the Facebook group. I'll send out another link in the email when I share the replay to this one. I'll pop it in Telegram as well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited for our 31 days together. Let's step into the next level self. Abby says, feeling very motivated. Thank you so much. You are so welcome. I will see you in all the spaces where we're going to hang out. Thank you. Let's fucking smash it. Let's have an incredible end. No, incredible end. No, let's have an incredible start to the second half of the year. Losing the fucking plot now. But I'm so grateful that you're all here. Let's have an incredible month together and I will see you wherever we hang out on the internet. Bye, everybody. Mwah.